and I turned mine to Ernie. If you like that, you can call you Ernie. And he said, Ernie, that's okay. It's okay. I met him. I said, what is wrong with you? That Ernie? Anastasios is such a beautiful
It's a
name.
beautiful name, yeah.
So you won't backstitch?
No, this one, no, because I'm trying to keep away from that, and the no back stitching is part of that, because I don't, gonna thread it now again. I don't know why it has, it doesn't look like it's pressure anywhere. Yeah, this one, because we're gonna do this also only when we start putting those gathers in place, so you don't get a bunch here and nothing there, and vice versa.
So you don't stitch over this.
Yeah.
All right, and that's the other reason, because it's again, if you backstitch it, and the upper fabric is so sensitive. I was reading also an article today on Threads from Kenneth King, who is a famous teacher, and he said the question was what peeves you with you sewing, and he said chiffon and fine fabrics, because when they're so slippery, slidey, and all that, they just, you can't control them so easily. And I thought, yes, that's true. Okay, up here on the very end, if it's not totally okay, because the gathers don't want to travel. Yeah, I'm pinning it now, but I have a feeling that we have to do it on the board, because that's what I usually do, especially with big pieces. You can do it here, because you have to do this to make sure that you have, yeah,
Won't you snag the fabric if you're using a pin to spread it?
no, because the awl is like a pin, but it's a humongous size pin, except the awls come in ballpoint as well for the knit fabrics, but this don't get snagged. They're scared of me to do that to me. Okay, so sort of spread them in a way that they look kind of there. What happened here? And then what we need is to go over to the board, because this we cannot spread, because what we're gonna end up doing is this. From the right side, we're gonna run for this distance 2 rows of stitching. So it's about every 2.5 inches. I don't know how much I have at Victoria's, but it also depends on the fabric. If it's a little too puffy or a little too stiff. So keep in mind that. Let's see the other ones, what they have. And a cushion, I mean, you ironing board here, this is farther apart. Your ironing board is good enough at home. This one here is cotton gauze. I had a scrap of this fabric years ago. And this one is the same thing, about every 2 inches here and about every 3 here. So I did both sides. And that's this one. Oh, and I used here the difference when the fabric is not soft, what happens. And I use a silly coarse polyester lining, and no matter how hard you try to do it like this, I didn't do the stitching, but I did it here just to prove that the difference is this. So if you have to do that, you gotta use something that's not so coarse, but if it is, like sometimes people want to use organza because you do costumes for theatrical productions and that. So then you're gonna have to do it more taut, and you're gonna do the rows closer together to keep it down, because the puffiness is because the fabric is stiff and it's not soft like this. Because when you do this, as you can see on the dress there, you sort of detect a little bit of a wave down, which is beautiful. Like it waves down a little bit where the threads are. But this tends to stay too puffy. Okay, so are you ready for a trip to the iron board? The iron